Hi, welcome back to Small Talk Queens, episode 46. I'm Megan.
I'm Kelly.
I'm ready to think about it. I mean, things are helter-skelter right now I don't recommend back-to-back vacations. In case anyone ever needed to know this, it's not something we normally do. It's very stressful. There's a lot going on. Must be nice.
Must be nice.
Yes. Well, this one was the last little impromptu one, so getting ready. Anyway, so we have a horrifying event going on in front of our house right now, which I did not... I opened the door and I saw...
I don't know how she's
saw the
oblivious
crows.
to this.
Well, I can't see it from where it is.
Like
I just saw
a lot of crows.
We always have a lot of crows.
They're like as big as a dog.
They're
like
gigantic. So we have a lot of crows, and I think nothing of it because, whatever. They're scavenging through the yard. They always are. Got like acorns and shit going on. Who knows?
And the tree's full of them, too.
And then you walk in the door and announce that...
There's a dead squirrel. That squirrel had a shit morning. Dead squirrel on the edge of the grass and sidewalk. They dragged it as I was getting out of my car. The crows dragged the squirrel into the sidewalk.
See, no, I didn't think the crows were like scavengers.
Oh, are you
I thought crows were like...
They'll go through your garbage.
Well, I know, but not like other animals. Like, I didn't think they...
No, and then the neighbor was walking by with the dog on the sidewalk. And I'm like,
get out of the door. Get out of the doorway so she can't see you.
I was watching, and the neighbor looks, and she's horrified, and she and her black lab cross the street and go on the other sidewalk. The birds flew
Was the dog interested in it?
No. And she also had the muzzle thing around the dog. But anyhow, all the birds flew in the tree, and then they flew back, and they're making all kinds of noise.
It's like a fucking Hitchcock
movie. And then
they're
like taking turns because these black crows are in the opposite tree too, watching the other ones, and they are loud.
They are loud. I mean, we have a lot of crows around here. People on our local Facebook page have commented like, "What's up with the crows? Why are there so many crows?"
I mean, there's big as fucking small dogs.
They are gigantic crows, and they're always. Caw, caw. I mean, it's like Halloween Town out here.
I have to find this article. It'll be for another time. I'm just going to say this. There was an article in the Smithsonian Magazine about how smart crows are.
Great.
Crows are really smart. I forget what about them.
Well, if they were
really
smart, they'd get the fucking squirrel out of my driveway because now it's coming up the driveway.
No, they're smart because they're eating it. Well, I'm just waiting for them to drag it.
I need it to be gone. I can't have that on my property.
They're going to drag it right behind your car in the driveway.
I mean, like, do I call animal control? What do I do? Like, I'm not going out, like...
Animal control
putting it in the garbage.
Not coming to move a squirrel.
We had a dead rabbit in the yard once, and we called it animal control, and they came and fetched it, and they took it with them.
They didn't get the dead bunnies?
The bunnies weren't left behind. The bunnies were gone.
There might not be much of this squirrel left in a little while.
It's so fucking gross, though. I don't want it in the driveway. I can't go outside till it's gone. And I can't see it from the security camera at the angle that it's at, because my car blocks it. Really? So I'm going to have to...
You know who can see it? Your next door neighbors.
I know, with her three small children.
Get a clear vision of it.
I'm horrified. Look. That's called their problem. I'm not going outside
if you go upstairs to one of your windows upstairs.
I'm not. I do not want to see it. I do not want to see it.
I do enjoy watching National Geographic as long as
we have
dead animals not in my yard. I'm tired of dead animals in my yard. I'm tired of animals in my yard. I've got reptiles now. Those snakes.
Wrinkled. Sorry. Pardon me, what?
Those snakes. I think there was one in the pool when they were closing it because I saw somebody throw something.
This all I'm going to see now is just fucking every time.
We all have wrinkles. We all have wrinkles. Just get over it. And it's so hot and humid here that right now.
Right. Welcome. It's October today. So we're filming this is October 1st. So happy October. My favorite month of the year. Yay. But when you see this, it'll be the 5th.
Into October.
Or 6th or some
shit.
Who
but
knows?
while we're on the topic, and then we'll get back to the animals. October 1st today. So today starts the Breast Cancer Awareness Month, the Cybersecurity Awareness Month. Today, October 1, is International Coffee Day, World Postcard Day, National Pumpkin Spice Day.
And you didn't bring me one.
No, I didn't get one. We just talked about how they give us diarrhea.
Well, I know, but I only have one a season. Usually you get it for me.
No, I haven't had one yet. I don't need to clean my system out yet. And nice. Today is because it's not because it's October 1st. It's just the first Tuesday in October is National Taco Day.
Are you having tacos today?
Doesn't have to be a taco. Tuesday? I don't know.
We're having salmon in a salad. So speaking of cybersecurity, so one of my credit cards gives me like they keep track of my shit. So if my social security number turns up in like the dark web or whatever. So I got a notification. My social security number is in the fucking dark web.
What is the dark web? Does that mean like Russia? Does it mean like
probably
the mafia?
So I'm supposed to like call like one of the credit, like Experian or one of the credit people, whatever, and like let them know. okay, shouldn't they already know? If my credit card knows. So, so then we also got in the mail.
That's nice red lipstick.
Thanks. I alternate depending on what color I'm wearing. I have 2 different shades that I wear. Also, one bleeds into my face and one doesn't. I hope this isn't the bleeding one.
No.
You know, one more color stay and one bleeds.
I don't think I've ever worn red lipstick. I'm afraid that it makes...
well, people are afraid of it. They don't wear it. You should try it. Anyway, where was it going? Cyber, quit reading the news. Quit looking at your memes. So then we got a thing in the mail, and you said you got it too from some healthcare company that they got hacked.
Well, the letter wasn't from a healthcare company. It was from like some cyber, like that overwatches all of this.
Oh, you said you got the same things. We were talking about different things.
No, we got the same thing.
Mine's from like health something.
Yeah, but it's not. That's not my insurance, and that's
it's
not
our
the company.
insurance either.
It's not
like,
the medical.
It's like whoever does like the medical billing for what insurance or whatever.
Right.
I think it's mainline.
I think it's Mainline Health because we're all getting it. And I don't go to the same doctor my kids go to, so I think it's just Mainline Health.
Whatever. Or whoever does medical billing for multiple, whatever. I don't fucking know. All I know is, so now, like, all my shit's out there. So, look. Last year it was fucking death threats from the fucking Turkish guy. And now it's, all my shit's out with in the dark web. And now someone's making a personality out of themselves under my information or whatever.
Did you call Experian?
No, I have to. Look, I can't be on the phone again. I was on the phone with AT&T.
That's
for
enough to get
an hour and a half.
That's
yesterday.
enough to make you really hostile.
So I called AT&T to make a change to our plan.
Wait, how many cell phones do you have?
We have 2
separate numbers.
It was only 2 of us. We have 2 cell phones.
Some
of
people
course, we
have
have
a
separate
lot.
phone numbers.
Some people have a lot.
So I called to make a change to our service. And the woman says to me, Sean, she was lovely. Sean says to me,
I thought you meant my son for a minute. I'm like,
did you want to change that for all 3 lines? Okay, I've got 3. I said, no, whoa. 3 lines. 2 lines. My husband's and my own. We have 2 lines. Well, she said, well, you have 3 lines here. I'm like, oh, yeah. I'm thinking back. So 3 years ago when we got new cell phones,
give me one of those.
The guy said, you can have the ghost today. The guy said, one's bent for the interruption. I mean, 3 hours. That's why it takes 3 hours to get through a story. The guy said to me, your new plan comes with a 3rd line, to which we said, we don't need a 3rd line. We don't want a 3rd line.
When you were buying the phones.
We're not going to use a 3rd line. It's 3 years ago, August 2021. To which he says, well, it comes with the phone. We got a new phone, which came with a new plan. He says, it comes with the phone. It comes with the plan. You're not going to pay anything for this line. It just comes free. Don't worry about it. You don't have to use. What am I going to use it for? What device am I using it on? Like, I have my phone. Joe has his phone. We don't have a 3rd device to have a phone number on. So fast forward. Okay, we were told this is what your bill is going to be a month. Your phone will be paid off, because it all gets rolled into the plan. Whatever, your new phone will be paid off in this amount of time, which took 3 years, by the way, because it just got paid off. Which is also why I think previously I mentioned about the volume thing. I can't hear on the phone; it has to be on speaker, which is okay when I'm home. Is not okay in public, as discussed. Conveniently, within like a month of the phone being paid off, that's when the sound shit out.
Just shit the bed.
And it has to do with the microphone. Anyway, I can't. So Sean and I are going through all this on the phone yesterday. Lovely Sean from AT&T, and come to find out, we have been paying for this 3rd line for 3 years. 3 years.
I might have reached through the phone.
So I'm thinking it was going to take a quick 10, 20 minutes to quickly make a change to our wireless plan. Hour and a fucking half on the phone yesterday.
Were you just sitting or were you walking around the house? I would have had to walk around the house and do something.
I had to go to the bathroom once, so I had to mute her. I mean, look, an hour and a half in, I had to pee. So look, Sean got muted. Anyway, I wasn't on with Sean the whole hour and a half. I was on with Monica, her supervisor, for the last half of that.
Monica. So
we go through. First she's like, okay, so I'm gonna get rid of this number. I'm like, whoa, that's my number. Fuck, can you? She's like, it's in whatever. I've gotten rid of this number. I'm like, oh, you have to undo that. That's my number. Oh, whoops. She says, whoops. As I'm stroking out on my end of the phone, I'm like, can you undo that? She's like, yes. I can. No worries. Okay, good. So 3rd line, unused line that was supposed to be free, that we argued about, and we were told it's free, you're getting it, there's nothing you can do about it, just ignore it. We've been paying for it for 3 years. She tells me we've been paying $67 a fucking month, to which now I'm really stroking out, right? Because I quickly go to the calculator on my phone.
I don't
over
know
$2,000.
if I would have been able to even speak after that.
She was so nice, though.
Because
She was like, "Oh my god, oh my!" Like she was
Did you light her up?
No, I didn't light her up. It wasn't her fault. She's the woman who's helping me change my plan. I mean, she's not. It's not her. She's the one who caught it. So okay, Sean.
Monica.
So what's going to happen here? So she's like, oh my God. She puts a ticket in against the guy. Who, because she's like, I have to put a ticket in against him. This was so wrong. Like, he should not have done that.
He's probably not even with the company.
Well, he shouldn't be, because he was awful. Like, I told her, I still have PTSD 3 years later after going in to get this fucking phone. I didn't say fucking. After getting to get this phone, I'm like, I still have PTSD. I need a new phone. I won't go get one because I had PTSD from 3 years ago when I went and got this phone. I cannot go into the AT&T store again. So she's apologetic, right? And she's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. It should never be that stressful. This is unacceptable. Like, we have standards. We have this. We have that. Like, and we have them for a reason. We have these things in place. This is so, like, whatever. So she says to me, the best I can do as a representative, I can only refund you the last 3 months. I'm like, okay. So I appreciate that, Sean. I appreciate that.
Oh my! Did you say I appreciate you?
Yes. I don't say appreciate. I say I appreciate that. I appreciate you is from Ted Lasso. I say it to Sean all the time. I said, what on earth? I mean, I thought it was a coaster you threw to the ground with your phone. So she escalates it. So she said, well, I have to escalate it. I said, is that something we can do like now?
Yes.
Can we just escalate this now so I don't have to go through all this again? Yes. Okay. So she's like, I'm going to go speak to my supervisor, Monica. When I'm done, I'll get back to you, and then I'll put you through to Monica. So she goes, explains it to Monica. Monica gets on the phone. Monica's apologetic, but Monica's like, look, I don't really know what I can do for you. There's a lot of money. And then Joe's in the background saying words like, this is fraudulent, and I have it on speaker, and the call is being recorded. So it is fraudulent. It is absolutely fraudulent. We were told this. We argued it. We've been paying it unbeknownst to us. So she's like, I said, okay. So she's like, I don't know that I can take care of this. I said, okay, I understand that. Can a lawyer take care of this? I mean, I am prepared to. This is over $2,000 that we paid for a fucking line
from the
that we insisted
guy.
We didn't want. We insisted we didn't fucking need, and he insisted that it came with our plan, and it was free. It was not free. So it's Monica. Well, don't you look at your look, Monica? Don't ask me if I look at my fucking bill. No.
This is not coming back on me.
She goes, oh, I see you have auto pay. I said, yes, we have auto pay because, one, when you get the bill and you look at it, it's like reading fucking rocket science. So I'm not going to look at the bill. I don't understand the bill. And also, it's
did
cheaper.
You say it's rocket science?
Yes. I didn't say fucking, no. I did not say fucking. I did not say fucking. I'm embellishing here with that. But yes, I mean, in my mind, I'm saying it's fucking rocket science. But to her, at least I don't. Maybe I did. Maybe I threw it out and didn't even realize it. I'm like, it's like reading rocket science. I said, and also, like when we left AT&T that day, we were quoted, this is what your bill is going to be per month until your phone's paid off, and then we'll go down by this amount. And every month, that's what the phone bill has been. And if you pay automatically, you get some kind of like a little bit of reduced rate or some shit. You go like, I don't, because it saves paper. I don't fucking know. I don't even know. We do it out of ease. Okay, it comes out. We get a text every month. Your AT&T bill has been paid. Your AT&T bill has been paid. It's this amount every month. We got a message last month saying, your phone's been paid off. Yay, now it's down however much money. Yay, now you need a new phone because your phone shit's out. I can't with cell phones. I can't with AT&T. And so,
AT&T's the worst.
So I'm saying to her, I'm like, okay, look. So she's hearing the word fraudulent out of Joe. And I'm like, yes, Joe, it is fraudulent. So Monica's hearing this. And then she's like, I don't know if I can take care of this. So I was like, okay, well, can a lawyer take care of this? Because she's like, well, I can't tell you what to do. I said, well, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. So let's see what we can get done here. And then I'm going to see, and then I'm going to go from there.
Listen up.
So then she starts explaining to me the rocket science behind the bill. And telling me that we should check the bill every so often, blah, 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 which I said to her, again, I had no need to check it. We were told this amount. This is what we've been paying. And again, it's like rocket science. So even if I fucking read the thing, we don't get the bill. The bill is available online, to which she reminded me, you have wireless access. Yes, I know I have wireless access to it. Whatever, I can look it up. I'm not going to look it up.
Listen,
I'm not looking up the phone bill.
Fucking fix it. I don't want to hear
the whole
about
system.
How I should be reading the bill.
Right? So then she says to me,
you've been fraudulent.
Right? She says to me, well, I also don't know what I can do because you haven't, I forget what word she used. Like, you haven't argued this until now.
You haven't noticed.
To which Joe was like, oh, no. I'm like, yeah, oh, no. I argued it that day in the AT&T store when the guy insisted that we get this, and we insisted we didn't want it, and he insisted that we had it anyway, and it was free. Not free. Oh, my God. People wonder why I drink. I did not drink yesterday either because I'm on my dry week. I'm on my fucking dry week. So anyway, so she's clicking away.
Sometimes I think they just click and they're on their email or something.
So she goes on to explain that the more lines you have, the less your bill is although you still have to pay for all 3 lines. Look, I made Joe.
This makes no sense.
And this is math. It's like rocket science math. So I'm like, Joe, can you hear this? Because I mean, she's speaking, but I don't know what's happening. So he's like, yes. And then John understood it when I told him.
Yeah,
so
they're both numbers people. I'm
not a numbers person.
I don't know.
It's like you pay more, but it's less. What the fuck?
How
I can't.
is that? Why do I even have to get a third line? Like, what kind of scam that you have to get a third line to make the whole bill less?
Right.
I don't understand.
But it doesn't. So you're paying. I don't understand.
They're giving that third line to somebody in Russia.
It is. It's probably what all my information is in the dark web, because this third line from 18. Who the fuck? Anyway. So after now we've been on the phone for an hour and a half.
I would have been pissed.
I mean, I wasn't pleased, because there was an hour and a half of my day just fucking gone on the phone with AT&T, which, everyone has. I think everyone goes through this at some point in their lives, probably several times. I thought maybe I was done with this. Like, we have the phones, we're done, blah, blah, whatever. Okay, so no. So she click, right, click, and then she comes up with, okay, so it hasn't been $67 a month. The way it's broken down between 3 lines is what it looks like it is a month, but really it's only $15.99 a month, plus whatever you pay, like $1 something for 911 access. Why are we're charged for 911 access? Plus tax. I'm like, oh, so I'm on my phone, my calculator doing the math. I'm like, okay, I'll come up with this. She's like, plus $1.99. So, oh, wait, let me go back. $15.99 plus $1.99. Oh, plus tax. Oh, hang on a fucking minute. Let me go back. So I'm doing whatever math I'm capable of understanding and figuring out on my own with my calculator on my phone. So it comes out to a total, according to her, of $770 or something along those lines.
Of what you're owed.
Of what we've paid, actually. So not the $67 a month, which we were just credited from Sean 3 months back at $60 some a month. So, okay, that was nice. Thank you, Sean. Or 50 some, I don't even know. We were credited $157 the first time, or $167, I don't even know, the first time from Sean. And then Monica was able to credit us the rest. So altogether, $770 some is credited to our account. And she said, you'll see that within 1 to 2 billing cycles it'll show up. I said, so we just, it's on our account. So like we have we don't pay anything for our next several months of phone bills, because we have a credit. She said, yes, that's how it should be. I said, okay, Monica, so explain this to me, because I know how AT&T works. When we get the bill and we've $100 some has been taken out of our account for auto pay, because this doesn't actually show up anywhere, right? Who do I call? And she's like, will you just call back AT&T? I said, well, can I ask for Monica? I mean, can I get you back on the line?
What'd she say?
No. She goes, I have had people ask to speak. I get messages once in a while.
This
if we have time. Right, so she's like, it's all in my notes. It's on a ticket. I put all my notes in. Whoever you call in the future, this will come up. Anyone can see it. Sean's notes are in here. My notes are in here. An hour and a half of my time yesterday. We got the credit, but had we not called to change our plan, we would have just kept on paying for this fucking third line forever.
I would have blown a gasket.
Because she was so nice and so apologetic, both of them, and so like, oh my God, like themselves, as opposed to like, oh, sorry, oh, too bad, you pay it. I mean, like, they were very nice and very helpful. And the one girl was the one who caught it. I mean, had I not called to change the plan, though, we would have just kept paying for this third line.
I mean, I might have made a visit to the AT&T store where I bought that goddamn phone, and I would have found that guy that I bought it from. I might have just gone in and smacked him.
After that incident, which I have PTSD from going there that day, from the AT&T store, I have, so the reason why I have the phone I have was because he told me, like, if you trade in, this is your current phone, if you trade it in, you'll get like $600 off or some shit from your phone. Okay. All right. So we get everything, and then I forget what it was. I needed to get something from home. I needed to finish down. I had to do something where he said, you have 24 hours to come back in. Don't worry, blah, blah. And I came back in and, oh, whoops, all of a sudden, no, it's like you get $200 for your phone. And then I lost a gasket. She wouldn't, I demanded to speak to the managers in the store. The manager would not bring him back out. The manager's trying to tell me I'm in the wrong. Joe was there with me, which Joe heard it all the day before. I got very loud in the store. I was like, this is the bait and switch. This is the bait and switch. People, I would leave. I mean, I was that person you used to see on the news. She's like, ma'am, you need to calm down. I'm like, I'm not going to calm down. I am not going to calm down. I lost my mind in the AT&T store.
God, I wish I would have seen that.
It was, and I'm not usually that. I just shook my head so hard my bun came down. I'm not that person in a store.
I'm not a scene maker.
I was that day, and then when we had to go back because it all fucked up, I'm like, we can't go to that one. We went to a different one. And the guy could only fix like, I think it was that guy too that was like, you have this third line. Like, we don't want the third line. And he's like, well, I can't get rid of it for you. I'm like, well, how do you get rid of it? And he's like, you have to go back to where no, we are not going back there. We'll just have this third line, which again, he did not also tell us we were paying for it. He just acknowledged that we had the third line. So, and like as your son said, because I probably need a new phone now. I mean, I can't like go around on speaker all the time.
Son?
Whatever. Sean said, "Oh, why don't you just go to the AT&T store anyway? I get a new phone." Which I think I'm gonna have. I cannot go back to the AT&T.
problem solving skills.
Not AT&T. He said go back to the Apple. Go to Apple or Mac. Wherever,
that's what you need to do.
And get the phone from there. But see, you and John do that, and then all your shit's meshed, and you're getting each other's text messages.
That's partly because we're on a bill for Sean. We're on something for John's work, which is the problem with it. Mom and Dad don't have.
We're on through Joe's. We get a discount through Joe's work of like a minimal amount, like I don't know, 5% a month or some shit. I don't know, but I can't like and then we have it. I can't like.
My kids don't get any of our texts. It's only John and I think it's because we're. I don't know, something name on the bill. I don't know. But it's only happened occasionally.
I mean, I said to the lady yesterday. I almost said to the lady yesterday. I did not say, I'm like, this is why people go to Verizon. This is why the fuck people go to Verizon.
Well, I do have to say we bought our phones from Apple. Not all four at the same time because everybody in the household has one. But at different times, and it just is a little smoother there.
So as long as you're keeping the same plan, you just go swap the phone.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have to go swap the phone.
Patrick and Nicole just went and got the new phone, whichever iPhone is out, the iPhone 18, 17, whatever the fuck it is. And they like it. It's a little bit bigger. I wonder if I get
the new phone, can we edit our videos?
I don't know. You
Christ knows I try.
Did you put the new download?
I don't have. I did the new download. We have the new kit that you got with the microphones. We got it a while ago, and then we figured out it wasn't the right one, and then we tried it, and we needed like have to hook up to a laptop, all the things. So you took that back. We have a new one, which is sitting in the parlor because I have not had time between vacations to look at it. So maybe when we get back, maybe we can learn how to edit. I don't know. So is that a new feature? My friend told me to try the iMovie or whatever, which I have tried several times and still can't figure out how the fuck to edit. People do it. The lady who owns the PT place where PT Joe works, she does little podcast things all the time, and she's like jumping all over because like she edits. So it's like I actually can't stand to watch it because it's like a lot of jumping around. But she clearly edits, or someone edits. I don't. If you
Listen, we aren't the only ones that can't be like this. There's this woman. She has like over 300,000 followers. She does some fashion thing. She actually lives in the area. Yeah, we have 79 people. Let's up it. But at any rate, she still does it just like this from her bedroom, and the thing's reversed. So when she's putting the makeup on the one eye, it's really the other eye.
Right.
Like you know what
reversed.
I mean? Yeah. But
like this is my right hand, but when on TV, it's my left hand.
Makes it look campy. I like it. I like it.
I still need to edit a little bit.
You're like in her home. She's got the two English sheepdogs running around. The one is Fitzgerald. It's very bad. Fitzgerald's a very bad dog.
The skinny lady who's really pretty, does all the clothes and jewelry and shit. Yeah, I like to watch her. Okay.
Megan Mullins. Okay. Megan. It's Megan Mullen. MEEG.
Now that I had the fucking rage for the day,
I want to go see what the squirrel's doing.
Oh, the squirrel's laying there dead being picked apart by the fucking... Can we stop with the squirrel? Stop with the squirrel.
That's like the day that I drove Patrick down to the bus. I think he was like in 5th grade in the morning. I was driving him down to the bus, and you know how squirrels go like this across the road?
Did you hit a squirrel?
I hit the squirrel, and I went, oh my God. And Patrick goes, that sucks to be him. God, you're so rude. Like, no compassion for the animal.
I have only ever hit one.
He's had a sucky morning.
I've only ever hit one animal by the grace of God, and it was a chipmunk my last year of college, and I cried and I gagged a little bit.
Well,
I was horrified. I mean, it was a chipmunk, and you think you're not gonna be able to tell you hit a chipmunk. You can tell.
Yeah,
you hit a chipmunk, and then I was very upset about it, and it also gagged me a little. So I was gagging in the car while I was like dry heaving and like crying all at the same time behind the wheel.
I did not cry about the squirrel. Because when I turned around at the end of the road after the bus picked him up, the squirrel's no longer there. So I think it knocked the shit out of him. Yes. Okay. I rung his bell. I rung its bell.
That would say. He got his bell rung.
And then it got up and it scurried away.
Well, but like...
What makes me gag are the goddamn dead squirrels that are half chewed by the goddamn hawks in my yard.
Okay.
I have PTSD about going behind the shed where we have the pool stuff, because that, it's like the furthest point from our house, and you can't see behind it unless you're there behind it, and that's where like all of the dead animals go to hide.
Well, it's like a forest back there.
Yeah, but that's where like,
I mean, it's a circle of life. I get it. Like with the fucking fox and the bunnies, I'm still
why
fucking
can't
horrified.
they hunt in somebody else's yard?
I feel like with the fox, so I feel like because they like the bunnies were like so like innocent. Like if you're gonna chase a rabbit down, at least the rabbit has a chance to like run for it. Like right?
Well, that's the thing
like,
about
go work
fox.
for your food, you fucking fox. Don't just get the little baby. Okay, no more dead animals. We're done.
I had a fox lay down in my yard. It was not mangy. It was early morning. John called me down.
I used to love the
and
foxes,
it was
and now I
laying.
can't.
It was
It's
laying.
going to be a minute before I can enjoy the foxes
Laying
again.
down in the yard. I took a couple pictures through my window.
I mean, we used to be like, oh my god, there was a deer in our yard. Oh my god, there's a deer in our yard.
There was.
Like, look,
Wait,
we
you don't
live in
understand.
fucking suburbia. I mean, we are
Wait.
we are we are like a few feet between each house, right, in this neighborhood. You can't see it because we have overgrown bushes out here because it gives us nice privacy. So yes, it is overgrown, and yes, we're gonna fucking leave it like that.
But
yes.
you're in a brick colonial neighborhood. Like
right.
they're
So
just
the houses are like no more than
10 feet.
3 yards max between us, right? This is not like there's no like forest nearby. The closest thing to a forest is like the park that's down the street that has a little bit of a wooded area.
I mean, you're right on a road.
Right. Like this is not the neighborhood where you see deer. Like the occasional possum, yes. Foxes, yes. Rabbits,
The fox
yes.
even stunned me because this is not like
We have foxes
a wooded
all around.
neighborhood.
They come around because of rabbits. We have a lot of rabbits because
They must
the
live under
rabbits are
somebody.
safe in the backyard from the kids who chase them.
they must
anyway.
live somewhere under the den. The deck of somebody.
A few weeks, 2-3 weeks ago, the security camera. There's like I had a motion thing when I woke up in the morning from like 4:30 a.m. or whatever it was. So I looked. Usually it's a car going by. So I looked. It was a fucking deer in the front yard.
like right in
the the driveway. I was like, what the fuck? That deer is far from home. I was like, what on earth? And I sent it to you. And I'm like, Joe, I'm like, did you see the camera from 4:30 this morning? He's like, no, who was it? It's not a who, it's a what. Go look. And then there was the fucking deer. And
It
was
didn't
just
have
like,
antlers though.
no, but still, I mean, a deer in the yard. I was like,
I mean, this is how some
whoa.
people end up with them coming in their house. They like go through the front window. They like get scared or spooked because I mean, it was right up by your car in the driveway. Like
it was, yeah. And I'm gonna knock on wood about hitting the animals because now, I mean, like, people die from like hitting deer.
Yeah.
The hoof comes, knocks you, like they hoof you to death in the car, and they can't.
when I was the year before I did my student teaching, a friend of mine from Penn State was teaching at the high school that I was going to, and it was in Altoona, and he hit 2 deer on his way to work because at high school
Mike, it happened to my friend Mike.
you had to be there like at 7 a.m. for high school to start, and he was a teacher, so he was leaving in the dark hours, obviously during some of the time, and at 2 separate occasions he hit a deer, and the one time he totaled, and this was before cell phones, he totaled his car. He like ended up going off the road and like went down a little bit, had to have dental work, like teeth,
Oh God!
because of the stress and like the tension, like he kind of like cracked his teeth
My friend
off.
Mike on the way up to Penn State one weekend. This was well after I graduated from college, and he's like, something happened to the car, like decimated. I'm like, what happened? He's like, I hit deer. I'm like a deer? He's like, no, like a herd of deer like came out of the car. The car was like totaled. I mean, which is
No, they totaled the
not
cars.
really funny, but yeah. I'm like, what did you do? He's like, I fucking ducked. I'm like, oh my god. Oh my god.
They do. I've seen.
Yeah, they come through. Yeah, you gotta like duck. And, okay, all right. We're gonna switch gears. So last episode, you had talked about that movie, Death Becomes Her, which I know. So I knew of the movie, and I was sure that I saw it. So then I went and figured out the new TV. Not the new TV, excuse me, because I don't know if I mentioned on the last one the TV shit the bed. So the toilet was running. We had to call the plumber because we haven't yet figured out how to change the thingy in the tank.
What is it?
We're gonna learn how.
The bobber, the
well,
bobby?
it's not even. It'll be 2 years. The end of this month that it was just. I'm like,
They don't make
these
things
things
like they
last
used
longer?
to. No, they don't make them like
So
they used
the
to.
plumber had to come. That was $20 off, right? So he gave us 20. I'm like, shouldn't these last longer than 2 years?
First of all, he shouldn't have charged you at all. I mean,
Well, I
he had
feel
to
like
come
that
back.
too. I mean, and I mean, it's like $200 for 10 minutes, which just makes me want to I can't. It makes me hostile.
And it's his company. He's
But like
self-employed.
we're getting ready to leave. Like again, like we don't have time to figure out how to do this. So we have a plan though, because our friend's husband, he's really good at like do-it-yourself shit. And I know like Aunt Bonnie can change her own thing in the toilet. I've watched a YouTube. It does not look that difficult, but I'm also better with like seeing it done in person. So like, we're gonna call our friend, have him come over next time. We'll give him a 6-pack. He'll gladly come over and change it.
Is he a
and we'll
plumber
never-
by trade?
No, but you don't need to be a plumber. You just go
okay.
by.
No,
Also,
I
I
thought
wasn't
maybe he
sure
was.
what size thing. It's 3 inches. He told me yesterday, so I quickly texted Joe 3 inches. So now we know it's 3 inches. Anyway, so the toilet was running before we went to Massachusetts, here and there. Like, okay, we're going to have to get this fixed. We have time. We turn the water off to the house on vacation. We come back, we turn it back on. Now the toilet's running like every 15 minutes. So, like, that was over the weekend. So
That's
like,
a lot of water.
Yeah. So, like, okay, this has to be addressed. Now, even though we turn the water off, we still need, before we go away again. Okay. So that was that. Then the TV, I think I mentioned last week, Mom and Dad were here watching the Weather Channel because the hurricane was coming. And the TV screen went fucking white. And then we tried all the things online, and it's just done. It was like from 2009 at least. So the
when
TV
you Googled it, what did it say?
White screen of death, I think, or something like that. And they even had an acronym. I was like, okay, yes. White screen of death. It's done. So then the TV shit the bed. What was the other one? There was something else. Hang on, because it happens in threes. And I was worried because I'm like, three things. I remember the toilet. Oh, the dryer shit the bed. That was the other one. So we have the TV, the toilet, first the toilet, then the TV went. And I forgot about the toilet, so I'm like, okay, so it's the TV and the washing machine all within 24 hours of each other. What's the third one? And I realized, I'm like, I think and I hope it was the toilet. So hopefully that was our bad three things. So the dryer, I did put it on like 4 times, and eventually it got warm. Look, so now we need, I'm like, we'll worry about it. The dry, eventually, it dried, it got warm, it took 4 cycles. I'll worry about it when we get back. I can't.
You can always air dry.
But we were, so the point of this, what the fuck? So we brought down our little TV from our bedroom, and we can't watch anything that involves subtitles, because I can't possibly see that from across the room.
Why don't you just sit in front of it?
Unless I sit in front of it. And like yesterday we were watching them and Joe was like, do you want the subtitles? I'm like, no, we're watching American TV. I can understand them. And then hears me like say something. What'd she say? What? Fucking shit.
You need to get a hearing aid.
I'm like, can you just turn up a little bit?
You need a hearing aid.
So I put on Death Becomes Her.
Okay.
Because I know that I've seen it, but then I put it on. I'm like, none of this rings a bell.
Yeah, it was like 1988, 89 or something.
But none of it rang a bell. I mean, I knew of the movie. I knew it was Goldie Hawn, but I couldn't. I got partway through it, and then Joe came home, and I stopped watching it. So I still can't help you anymore. There was a little thing of that she drinks. It's like a vial of pink.
Isabella Rossellini plays the
right. So you could use a little vial for your cards or whatever. Yeah. That's as far as I got.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Oh, Meryl Streep was fucking young in this too. I was like,
yeah, I mean, it was 80 something. They also, I could do like a red card and like put a hole in it because
she said last time, but I mean,
she shoots a hole in.
But I think Goldie Hawn had also taken the potion, so I don't know.
Yeah, it's about movie stars. They're movie stars, and they want to be younger, and they were friends, and then they aren't friends. I don't know. I forget.
And Meryl Streep stole Bruce Willis was her husband.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Oh, one
and
marries the other one's
It's about
husband.
revenge. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to go back and finish it, but I don't know when that's gonna be.
That's a hell of a thing for a 50th birthday party theme. If it's about revenge, I mean.
It was not a birthday party. What are you talking about?
My friend is wanting this theme because
in the book she's 50. In the movie, she's 50. That's, I guess, why.
And she wants to stay young forever.
Because they say, how old is she? She looks good, meaning Goldie Hawn, at a book release party she's having.
Right, and she wants to stay young forever.
And someone said she's 50. And then Meryl Streep is on this thing. She's like obsessed with her looks. She's a movie star in the movie and wants to keep herself looking young is the premise. And then, I don't know. And then from there, I stopped watching. So I'm going to have to go back and finish it. But we did kick off the weekend with scary movies, because whatever channel has like the Fear Fest or whatever it's on, like now till the end of October.
You mean like
25
Days of Christmas? Is it?
No, it's Fear Fest with like all of like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which I was like, oh, put that on. And then was the one from a few years ago. I'm not doing the remakes. I'm like, no, I don't want to watch that.
You know what's stupid is Chucky.
I can't do Chucky.
Is that even a Halloween movie?
Well, all the scary movies come out this time of year, but I was in elementary school or junior high.
Fucking Chucky.
I'll say somewhere between 6th and 8th grade when Chucky came out. I think I need to go back and look at the dates, but it fucked me up because remember Tracy and I shared a room and we each had a big shelf above our beds, like a bookshelf almost, like but on the wall, like to save space. And our dolls were lined up. Nope. Down came the dolls. Nope. No more. I couldn't do Chucky since then.
Did you ever put the dolls back up there?
No. That was the end of the dolls.
I'm gonna find out when
that
Chucky
was officially the end of dolls for me. With Chucky was the end of the dolls. Also, remember my Ronald McDonald doll that I had when I was little?
No.
How do you not remember it? He had a whistle around his neck. He used to blow the whistle.
No.
Well, that
was
went.
It a big stuffed doll or like a little?
Yeah,
one?
I mean, yeah, that went after Poltergeist because the clown of Poltergeist. Ronald McDonald had to go after that because again, why was I watching Poltergeist when I was like 9 years old? Like I totally should not have been.
Chucky's first movie was 1988 called Child's Play.
So I was 11. So okay, yes.
They even have a Chucky doll. Look, I can get you a Chucky doll.
I don't want a Chucky doll.
Look, Chucky doll, right?
No. So we did watch this weekend. We watched some of the Michael Myers movies, some of the Halloween movies, and the original was on Sunday
when you said Michael
night.
Myers, I was thinking dude from SNL, but it's...
Ooh. So speaking of things, so Leonora, thank you, Leonora. Leonora sent me, I think somebody else sent me this too. I feel like I've seen it twice now. The Camp Crystal Lake from Friday the 13th movies is in New Jersey, and you can go on a tour, and they have like, it's all set up like from the movie. You can go and tour it, which is fucking fun.
They have people like jumping out at you?
I don't think so. I don't know. I think you can just go tour it. So we're gonna stop scrolling. You gotta stop.
I'm Finding Out When Death Becomes Her came out.
You did this last time. It was 89.
Okay. They have a Broadway play of it now.
Yeah. So, anyway, so the Halloween movies just started. That's all I was.
You know what else I don't like? I'm never watching I watch Halloween. I like a spooky Halloween theme and like dress up and like that kind of thing. But I like to watch the non-spooky ones, like the Peanuts.
I like the fun cutesy ones, but I like the scary ones.
Hocus Pocus.
By scary, I don't usually like the slasher ones. Like the Halloween movie, I like the original.
Yeah, the original with Jamie Lee Curtis.
And then she's in the second one, which that's on Sunday we were having our coffee and Joe put the TV on, and that's what started it. Was the second one was on. I'm like, okay, so we were watching it, and it was the scene where she's like in the hospital, and the mental hospital. It's in the hospital, and it's like totally, like there's nobody there, right? Just her like hiding in the hallway. I'm like, this is what I was thinking about when I was in the hospital. I went for a stroll at like 3:00 in the morning one night with my walker after my surgery, and I'm like facing a window, and in the giant window, you know, the whole wall was a window, and I'm looking behind me, and there's like nothing, and I'm waiting for like Michael Myers to like start coming down the hall, and that's when I very quickly turned my walker around and fucking hightailed it back to my room, and I shut the door, and like put the covers on, and was like, oh my god, and the guy came in, was like, the orderly was like, whatever they're called now, the nurse is aide, whatever, what the fuck they're called. And I don't mean to be rude, I just don't remember. They call something the nurse's engineer. I don't know. The nurse's helper came in and was like, I thought your door was open. I'm like, I had to shut it. He's like, is everything okay? I'm like, yeah, Michael Myers, empty hallway. I couldn't.
Did he look at you like you lost your mind?
He laughed. He's like, yeah, it can be spooky in the hallways at night. I'm like, you don't say, especially when you watch shit like this. So the slasher ones we don't always do. Now, last year, the year before, there were a couple, like Joe has never seen Children of the Corn.
Oh, neither have I.
Which, look, stay the fuck away from Cornfield after that. So last night we saw it was on, and I was like, we could put that on. There's a new, they redid that one too. I'm like, I don't want to see the redo. If we're going to watch it, we're going to watch the old one with fucking Malachi in it.
That's a horrible name, Malachi. I mean, honestly.
No offense if your name is Malachi or if you've named your child that.
It because of the movie. Like, nobody.
Well, I can't hear the name and not think of the movie. But, so the other year, like, so I had not seen the one with the car. The Stephen King movie with the car.
Cujo?
No, the car. Cujo's the dog. The car movie. The car comes to life. The car like kills people. It's possessed. The Stephen King movie.
I'm going to Google this.
No, Google it. I forget what it's
Kelly
called.
Ripa Googles while she's on national TV.
I mean, everyone knows this, and I know it, and I can't think of it right now because so the other year we did like the Stephen King ones. Like we did Carrie, which I've seen like 100 times.
That's horrible. That's a horrible movie.
The car one was the one I'd never seen before. I'd never seen it. And then we watched it. And after the end of it, I was like, I don't ever have to watch this again. Christine? Is that
Christine.
it? Christine, the car was possessed. I mean, it was interesting. It's some good Trivial Pursuit, information if I ever need it. Christine. I knew it was a C name.
The character, Arnie Cunningham, has purchased a 1958 Plymouth Fury from a strange man.
It's possessed and it kills people. It was worth the watch. And
is Cujo? Again. I mean, I know it's about a dog.
Cujo
but is it Halloween?
All the scary movies are Halloween. None of these are Halloween per se.
It's just
Halloween is Halloween. But like Michael Myers, the Friday the 13th movies take place at a summer camp, not on Halloween.
That's probably why I never wanted to go to summer camp.
What else? I mean, the Gremlins they show at Halloween, but the Gremlins is actually takes place at Christmas.
Was that the movie that Mom sat through with the sunglasses on?
It was that or Goonies.
I never saw Goonies, so it must have been
the Gremlins.
They were kind of cute, though. You remember they were like the big thing we got.
Before
like,
they became
Tracy got Gremlins.
They were the whatchamacallits before they became Gremlins. They had a
fur?
name though. Before they were Gremlins, they were something else.
Fur balls.
Anyway, my Halloween headband this week has on candy corn.
I think it's
understated. I like it. The ghosts are cute. The one's bent though.
Well,
I mean, when you pay like $9 for a bag of them from Amazon. What do you expect? So, I mean, hey.
Chris Christopherson died.
So our celebrity news this week. So last week was Professor McGonagall. This week is Chris Christopherson, which means there's a Well, maybe that was the third. He was the third. They happen in threes, people. They happen in threes. Celebrities always die in threes, and bad shit happens in threes. 3 is not your lucky number.
Who was the third person?
Well, first was what's his name? Luke, I am your father.
Oh,
James Earl Jones.
Yeah.
And then Professor McGonagall, Maggie Smith, and then which all I can see is Professor McGonagall, and I never watched Downton Abbey, so I can't even put her with that.
And then now it's Chris Christopherson.
Now Chris Christopherson.
He had 8 children
with different. I'm assuming.
Well, yeah, I mean he was married 3 times, had 8 children.
Like Mick Jagger spread that seed.
I guess, yeah. 8 children. He was living in Maui. He lived in Maui.
I saw that he died.
He lived in Hana.
I saw that he died in Maui.
Yeah, and his kids are the ones that made the statement. All 8 of them got together. I guess all 8 of them. That's what the news said. Yeah.
I did not. I didn't read the statement.
And he had an affair with Janis Joplin.
And Dad likes to tell me all the time that he wrote Bobby McGee.
I do like that song.
Or was it the other one? Fuck.
No, it was Bobby McGee.
Okay. Well, he couldn't sing very well. He was a good songwriter, but he couldn't. His vocals weren't.
He was in the second remake of A Star Is Born with Barbra Streisand.
So you know that I never saw A Star Was Born until this last one with Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga. And then I went back and watched the one with Barbra Streisand.
And there was one before that. What was the original one? Who was in the original one?
It wasn't Barbra Streisand?
No.
Oh, I don't know. But the one I watched. Oh, speaking of Lady Gaga, she's in the new Joker movie. I can't wait. We are going to see that.
That I can't see. It'll scare the shit out of me. Just like I didn't see the last Joker movie that Joaquin was
so
in.
Good.
But I saw an interview with Joaquin and Lady Gaga. Joaquin with an N. Excuse me, Joaquin is looking mighty fine these days.
The older he gets, the better he looks.
Always thought he looked good.
I think he's nuts.
Even though I thought he looked good always, he's looking a little better because you know why? He's got a little gray hair.
Crow's feet. See, this is what's fucked up. Men get gray hair and crow's feet and they look sexy.
No, not all of them.
Not all of them. We get gray hair and crow's feet. We'll go get yourself fixed.
Gray hair.
Get yourself some Botox.
I gotta go.
Keep the headband on.
I gotta go. And Botox would be great right here for this. My scrunch.
I have a zit, so I can't zoom in. I put the makeup over it. Look, and I have a bad spot. Can you tell my eyebrow?
Yeah.
I picked the fucker raw. I have a scab. I can't. Yesterday, while I'm on the phone with AT&T, I decimated what was left of my fucking eyebrows. I can't. I mean, I'm gonna have to like put tape over them or something. I don't even know. Because you have to have them redone, and I don't want to look weird. Although I know people who've had them done, they look great. But I've also seen other people on Facebook that have had them done. And then it looks so great. And then you have and with my luck, it'll go like Rick Star. I mean, I can't. I can't. I think. Joe said if I want to get them done. But I just need to leave them alone. And I've not. Remember when we were on vacation the other week, when I FaceTimed you that time, my eyebrows have never looked better. I mean, I penciled. They were perfectly even. Perfect. You even commented, "Oh, your eyebrows look good." I'm like, I know, right? My eyebrows look good. But I have my big glasses on too. Nobody could even tell unless I took my glasses off. Anyway, where were we going with this? Joaquin Phoenix, yes, he does look good, and we just saw,
and he does the actual singing. He and Lady Gaga sing in this. Saw the interview; they actually sing together. Yes. He was not lip syncing.
Her new song or her new album title,
yes,
or something
it came out
it's from.
She's got the face on from the Joker.
No wonder she had to get approved by Marvel or not Marvel. Who is it? DC Comics. DC Comics. Marvel's Thor and the other guys. DC is Superman and Batman. Yes, I know these things from Joe. The Batman series I love. And those of you that like poo-poo any of
Christian Bale as Batman.
That's my favorite. Those were really good. But so I saw the Batman movies here and there, but Joe, because of all the Thor movies and Iron Man, they're actually very good. I mean, they're very good.
Yeah.
And so at first I'm like, I remember the first time we sat down to watch something, I'm like, okay. I'll watch Iron Man with you. I'm like, this is fucking good. This is actually really good. And Robert Downey Jr. does a great job. And then, of course, I take it back. We started with Thor. I think Thor was the first one we saw because, look, what's his name?
Well, Hemsworth, but...
Right?
The story itself I wasn't so thrilled with.
I'll watch this. Fucking Thor. Yeah. And then I'm like, these movies are pretty good. What else you got? So then I've done all of them, and they're good. But the DC comics, so those are all Marvel. The DC comics are... I think it's DC Comics. Someone's out there probably.
Batman.
Wrong. The Batman, Superman ones. But
Spider-Man.
Batman I love.
No, Spider-Man's Marvel.
Spider-Man's Marvel. Batman I love. And the Joker movie I thought was excellent. We just saw it in the last 6 months. I think after I had my surgery maybe was when we sat
I've
down
not
to
seen
watch
that.
it. It was very, very good.
Scares me. I didn't even see the one with Heath Ledger. It scares me. Like people mentally insane doing weird things.
That one was more scary. So my friend Tom had said to me, my trainer Tom had said to me, he's my friend too, after he saw The Joker, he said it's really like about mental illness. I mean, really,
Right.
and which it is. I mean, it's like, and like you're watching it and like you're feeling bad for him, kind of like I did with Dahmer. Like you're feeling bad thinking, if this person just had, and this is a made up character, of course, but like if this person just had
some love
in their life and some help, that they wouldn't have turned into like
they would get the hostility out of their heart.
Right. So Joaquin Phoenix, he did a great job. And the Joker, I would highly recommend watching it. And we are definitely going to see this new one when we get back.
I loved him as Jimmy Carter with Reese Witherspoon in Walk the Line.
Jimmy Carter?
I mean, Jimmy... that's another thing.
Johnny Cash. He was excellent. Didn't he? They sang in that, didn't they?
Yes.
Some of it?
Real singing. No lip syncing.
I love that your son... So I got Sean started on Johnny Cash. So my car, my 2007
Rings
car...
of Fire.
I have a CD player in the car still. And it does not have like whatever Sirius radio or whatever. So when the radio goes to shit and I don't like what I'm listening to, I pop in a CD. I have a lot of Christmas CDs in there because when I have the rage in the car and you pop a CD in, it's hard to like call someone in the front of you, like, you fucking motherfucker. It's hard when you're like, oh, Holy Night on. Like, so I used to keep them in the car when I was working in the city.
That does not stop me.
So I would sometimes it does not stop me. I don't have to tell you.
Christmas music does not mellow me out.
Brings me down a notch, relaxes me, get the rage out of my heart. So I always have a Johnny Cash CD in there though, and Sean loves to put it in.
I will have a rager on you no matter what's on.
And he loves the song. He loves the song with the one where about the cocaine and shot that guy down, whatever. I'm like, oh my god, and I have to always like forget that some of the lyrics are not.
What is that one?
I have it in my head, but I can't sing it because I can't. I can hear it in my head, but I can't.
I mean, and truth be told, Johnny Cash is no great singer. He doesn't have like the best voice.
I love Johnny Cash.
I like him, but I saw him in concert.
But he'll put Johnny Cash on, and also, a lot of Sean. I love a lot of Sean's music he gets from us, which I love. George Thorogood, he fucking loves that song.
Well, let's backtrack with the George Thorogood. I'm not going to let you take total credit for that because when he was 3, he had a therapist. I think it was his occupational therapist. Who Sean can be a real stinker. Bad. She's like, this is your song, Bad to the Bone. And then she played it for him constantly because he was a little mischievous in therapy.
So Bad to the Bone, yes, but the other ones,
A Drink Alone.
Yeah, I mean, he
one
likes
bourbon,
to play,
one scotch.
Yes, like he loves to play, like, or at the pool, he's like, I have a surprise for you, and he'll put them on. But how Johnny Cash, when we were in Tennessee, and like I don't even know what was happening. We were drinking, and somehow like Johnny Cash came on. It was just the music. It wasn't even the words. I'm like, oh yeah. I'm like, do you know who this is? He's like, Johnny Cash. I'm like, yeah.
I saw Johnny Cash in concert.
I would have loved that.
I also saw Waylon Jennings, Willie Nelson, and Kenny Rogers in Pittsburgh at the Civic Center with Aunt Frida and Uncle Bob.
I love
But
Kenny Rogers.
let's go back for a minute. So Chris Christopherson died. He was part of what the group was called the Highwaymen or something like that. Look it up. You know I only ever get like half the story. But it's like the Highwaymen or something. So the group consisted of Christopherson, Johnny Cash, Waylon Jennings, and Willie Nelson.
Waylon Jennings sounds like a woman when he sings. He's high pitched.
Well, out of the 4 of those gentlemen,
he's more high pitched than I am.
Willie Nelson is the only one still alive from that group of 4 from the Highwaymen
He's still
or whatever.
Touring. Although we saw him, was it during COVID? Maybe he did like a TV special.
He lives in Hawaii too.
He does live in Hawaii. He has a house. I think he has a house in Texas too. But, I brain farted. Stroke. He's still touring, but during COVID he was doing something from his house or whatever. Like they were like, whatever, they did something on TV from his house, and I was like, Willie Nelson needs kind of like Bob Dylan. It's time to put it down.
Yeah, well, he never really had the best voice ever, but people liked him as a good entertainer.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I like Johnny Cash. I love Johnny Cash. Like Joaquin as Johnny Cash.
He did a great job in that movie.
He won an Academy Award.
Yeah. I mean, he usually is at least up for awards for most of the movies he's in, which is why we're going to go see The Joker.
He is so hot right now, that interview.
He does look fucking good. I mean,
and it was like a little on the rugged side. It's not like he had a ton of makeup on. He did not color his hair.
It was like kind of gray. Got the
goddamn good.
The crow's feet. Like young Robert Redford before he got old and said, I haven't worked on that. Looks terrifying.
He's a vegetarian now.
Robert Redford?
No. Joaquin
Phoenix has always been a vegetarian. You will find he's from hippie parents.
Oh, yeah. They lived in a commune.
And I was madly in love with
River
Phoenix.
Rainbow, Joaquin.
When I was Rainbow, a friend of mine used to live in Florida.
Wait a minute. If you have the name Rainbow,
you know who you know. If you're watching this, contact me if I have the story wrong so I can correct myself. But when my friend was living in Florida and met, I believe, Rainbow with her kids at the park.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. Anyway, but River Phoenix, when I was a young teenager, I mean, he was on the cover of like Teen Magazine and all this. I loved River Phoenix.
What was he in?
Stand By Me.
Stand By Me. And he wasn't that cute in Stand By Me.
He was in a bunch of stuff that I don't remember now, but he was in Stand By Me. He was young in Stand By Me. So that was probably my first exposure to him. He was in a movie, the guy that plays Leonard's dad on Big Bang Theory was in a movie where he and his wife, and I can't remember her name, and she was also in a bunch of shit. The two of them were like ex-hippies and they were protesting something and they bombed a building and people were killed and they hadn't meant to do that and they were on the run. And River Phoenix was their kid in that movie, living with them.
I don't remember that.
Like on the run. And I don't remember. I saw it several times. I do not remember the name of it. What was the guy's name? Was he in Taxi? Oh, no, that's a different guy. I can't remember. Anyway, look. Anyway, I can't remember what else. I mean, River had a short life.
Well, he was... Oh, I thought you were saying Joaquin. Joaquin was
River had a short life, but Joaquin has a phenomenal career.
Joaquin's been in 2 of M. Night's movies. The one where they wear those aluminum foil hats.
He was young for that one.
Yeah, and then
Aliens,
there's another one.
or the I forget what it was called.
And then there's another
one.
one.
The one with Mel Gibson.
Yeah.
He was in the one with Mel Gibson. I forget what it was called.
Or am I thinking Mel Gibson's been in 2? I don't know.
It was not Mel Gibson. I think he was only in one. I don't know. Look.
I like Joaquin.
But M. Night Shyamalan has a new movie, I believe. We were talking about it a few weeks ago.
Is it out
He lives
yet?
around here. I think so.
I don't...
He did a series that Joe and I watched last year. That's how we got Apple TV. My friend recommended this show on Apple TV, an M. Night Shyamalan series. It was very good. It was very good.
Oh, wasn't it like Glass and...
No, he did that too, but that was not what she recommended. And then she's like, do yourself a favor. When you're done watching that, watch Ted Lasso. And then we got hooked on the Ted Lasso. Oh, and now we can't get rid of the fucking Apple TV. And now we have the BritBox. Now we're just paying a ton of money.
I've seen advertisements now for the BritBox. Like, they're going strong on the advertising.
Well, you can get it through... So it's part of, like, Amazon Prime. So,
okay.
I don't know. Like, we are paying for it, but I'm being billed by Amazon through my Amazon account. So, I mean, but I have to have.
You know what I've been watching, and I am glued to it. It's 9 episodes. They go quickly, and it's a fascinating story, and I've been fascinated with it since it happened in 1989. Lyle and Eric Menendez. It's called
Brothers.
Monster or something. You really need to watch it. It's on Netflix. It's very good.
Did you check out the speaking of people killing their family? Did you check out the documentary about the new Lacey Peterson?
No.
Whatchamacallit?
No.
The fuck was his name? What's his name?
Scott Peterson.
Scott Peterson?
No.
It's good, people. It's good.
I have 2 episodes left.
He's also aged very well. He looks really good for his age. I hate to say that, but he does.
That's why he's getting a retrial, because people think
it's not why.
But meanwhile, this is why the Menendez movie. It's a docu-series. Like, it's, actors playing it. It's a little reenacting, and it's mostly true. I would say.
Did they kill their parents for the money?
No, that's what they say they did. But
or the father was abusive. Supposedly,
that's what father and mother. If you watch, I was enlightened a little bit. If you watch this,
if it's true,
yeah, if it's true, like some believe that they killed their parents for the actual money, but then others believe, like, they've had their cousins and other people on the witness stand saying that when the kids were 8, they were told that they were being, the cousin was told that Eric told him his father was molesting him and things. But it's a fascinating. It's a fascinating thing, and it's not so much about the murders. It's like kind of the psychology. I don't know. I think
they're still in prison.
Yeah. But this is the thing. They found new evidence. Some neighbor or somebody came out of the woodwork recently, and they are going in for a new trial because there's now evidence that will support their abuse claims or whatever. Oh, it was a member of Menudo. His father, the Menendez,
the band.
His father worked for RCA or something.
The fact that I even know that is like,
yeah. Well, I didn't know this till I was watching that. So his father was a CEO of a lot of different things, or bigwig someplace. And so then they moved out to California, and he was some bigwig at RCA, and he signed Menudo, and one of the, who are, you know, a young boy band, and one of the guys is coming out, because they interviewed the actual guy, is coming out saying that he was molested by Mr. Menendez.
Oh, Christ.
But anyhow, it's really interesting. But they want to have another trial. Meanwhile, they've both been married in prison.
I can't with this.
And not
look,
by
if
their
you're
own
married to somebody in
girlfriends.
prison, good for you. I can't with
Well,
this.
I think I don't know which one. One of the brothers has been married twice. One of them is married and still married.
I mean, like that whole like Gypsy Rose thing that we watched, and she was getting married. People were, like fighting over her in jail. Look, I mean,
Well, and then she came out and she's getting divorced from this guy, or she got divorced from the guy she married while she was
yeah,
in
she's
prison.
back to her old boyfriend. I think
I
I've
mean,
not watched it since she got out of prison. There's a new show, but I've not
When
watched
you
that.
live with the person, it becomes a whole different thing than seeing them in prison.
There's a lot to unpack with that one.
I
but
don't
yeah.
really. Yeah, well, there's a lot there. I don't really know if So with the Menendez brothers, they were spending money like gangbusters right after their parents died in 89, and I think they got arrested in 91 or something like that. It was like a couple years later they finally had enough to put him away, but they were initially spending money like gangbusters, which then raised some eyebrows, but then really raised eyebrows later, and that's, started following them. But here's the thing. I don't know if they still have any of that money. Like, I don't know.
Money's
Does
gone.
the state
Wherever
take
they
it?
used,
Does the government take it?
they
Do
used
the
it for their
lawyers
defense?
take it?
Someone took it. They don't have the money. The money's
Yeah,
gone.
I mean, so if
they might get money though.
because I was thinking that these women are marrying them. Do they think they're getting money from this?
Well, they get notoriety, but also they might get money from like books and movies, like this documentary and all these things.
Some people don't allow
Some people are not
them
allowed
to
I don't
receive the benefits of.
But it depends on So like a state. I don't know if it's state law or if it's like you have to go to trial for that. Like families have fought against like serial killers making money off of this. So sometimes you cannot, but sometimes, like John Wayne Gacy used to sell his terrifying portraits of clowns. And I don't know if he was.
Who the fuck is buying a portrait of a clown?
Who the fuck's marrying fucking criminals in prison, for fuck's sake? People do this. So it depends. Like, I don't know. Sometimes they can make money. Sometimes they can't. Sometimes they make the money, and the money they make is garnished and given to victims' families. So I don't know.
So the Menendez brothers, interestingly enough, initially hired Robert Shapiro, the big California defense lawyer. I think he worked with the OJ case.
Okay.
Hired him, and they didn't even get the trial because Robert walked away from it. He's like, "You guys are fucking crazy." Because I guess Lyle's like a little bit of a loose cannon, like just the way he was being. It had nothing to do with the crime that was committed because they had admitted to doing it. But what the trials are all about is, should they get life in prison or was it manslaughter? Like, that's what they're constantly arguing about, not the fact of whether they did or didn't do it. They did do it. Did you know too that when the police came to the house, so the brothers killed the parents, they waited like an hour or two to call 911 because I guess they went and buried the guns.
Not cleaned up.
Yeah. So, but the police never tested their hands for gunpowder.
Well, because probably, especially in the 80s, they weren't assuming that, like, these two kids just killed their parents.
And you know how they got caught? I did not know this, and I'm not ruining anything for those of you watching this. No. So they were suspected because they were going through all of the money. They didn't go through it, but they were spending it. Like, they bought a fucking yacht. Lyle was spending money on starting new small businesses, like the TCBY yogurt place. He didn't want one of those, but at the beginning of the show shows him, like, going down a limousine and looking at all these TCBYs down, I don't know.
Exist anymore?
No. Santa Monica Boulevard or whatever, and he's like, we're gonna put in like some hamburger joint or something, and like a chicken place, I don't know, but anyhow, so that's interesting. So what nailed them was their psychiatrist. So Eric went, I don't know, sometime in the recent, after his parents were shot, like I don't know if it was a month or a year or whatever, but went and told his psychiatrist, because he just couldn't stand anymore. He was having this horrible nightmare. So he but before he confessed, he said there's a client, Dr. Privilege, right? And the doctor's like, yeah. So he told him that he did it. And then,
the only time they're allowed to come forward, I thought, is if they confess they're going to hurt somebody or themselves.
Right. But after
the psychiatrist outed them?
No, the psychiatrist did not out them, but he told his girlfriend he was having an affair. The psychiatrist was having an affair with this lady who's a nutball. You got to watch it. She's a nutball.
Oh my God, there's a lot of moving parts here.
Yeah, so the psychiatrist
told
his girlfriend that Eric Menendez just came to his office and admitted to killing them, and that he was going to tape record the upcoming sessions, and he made notes so that. And it shows the psychiatrist then,
the psychiatrist broke the client confidentiality.
Right, because he told his girlfriend.
By telling his girlfriend.
And his girlfriend got pissed because he wasn't going to leave his wife. Because they had dated for a while and he wasn't going to leave the wife. And he had her move in with them. He had his mistress move in.
There's a lot of fucked up moving parts to this.
The Menendez psychiatrist had his mistress move into his house with him and his daughter.
Is this real?
Yes, so that she would not nut off and tell. But then he realized that he kicked her out when she was saying, to his daughter, that she'd make a great mom for her too.
For the love of Christ!
So he was like, "You're out."
You don't have to watch it now.
She went straight to the police. No, but that's how they got outed. The psychiatrist's mistress
I'm surprised that's legal.
She told the police. It's not just hearsay, because then she said he has it recorded. Oh. He has it recorded and documented.
But they can't get that with a court order because it's client.
Somehow they were able.
Dr. Privilege.
Somehow they were able. That I don't know, because they didn't get into the intricacies of that. But she went and narked on them, and that's how they got outed. And the whole thing is
keep shaking the table.
How would they have ever? How long would it have taken the police to really, had she not outed them, to
they
find out? They
probably would have gotten to it eventually. I mean, the money spending would have been.
It already took them It took them a couple of years to get in prison. I don't know. It's very interesting.
It's very interesting. And
bizarre family.
It's a very bizarre family.
I mean, that itself keeps the thing going, because it's just, you see how bizarre this family is.
Fucked up family is every family's fucked up. That family's really fucked up. Okay.
What was her name? Kitty.
Okay, so it's been an hour, so we need to wrap this up because the last one was a little long. Look, sorry. And so, and again, so I mean, today is October 1st, but I'm going out of town. We just posted the other one, so I'll post this. So when you're seeing this, it's like the 5th of the month or whatever the hell it is. And then, so I don't know, and we'll get around to the next one might also be a little bit late because just, vacay and fitting it in and all the things. And
we have a lot of stuff to do with Sean.
It's, a lot going on right now. So anyway, 4 more episodes and we're at our 50th, which is very exciting.
We should do something spectacular.
We'll have to do something spectacular. I don't even know what, but it'll be right around Halloween too.
We need to get more people to watch.
We do. So I'm looking at the numbers too. We have the same 90 people watching every one of them. I think.
Just tell your friends. Fuck it. Tell your friends.
I mean, look, fuck it.
We're not trying to make a ton of money off this. We just want people to watch it.
A ton of money. We're not making any money.
We just want people to watch it.
I mean, I wouldn't mind making money off of it. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, I
don't know how to go about that. So
we need some people to watch it.
Anyway,
first.
Okay. So on that note, we're gonna wrap up.
Thank you.
Have a great week. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.
Happy October.
Bye-bye.
Bye.